wrap-up here of Week 15, essentially for 48 hours since they watched the Cowboys hand New Orleans their first loss on Saturday night. The Giants have known pretty much got to win them all. The players are taking that approach. We need to win 3 games to get ourselves in the playoffs. That would include tonight against Washington, a team the Giants beat up at the Meadowlands in Week 1. Giants got off to a great start, remember, 5-0. But for some reason, the defense has gone south. They've lost 6 of their last 8 games. Here come the Redskins. Very dysfunctional season off the field for Washington. We were here 8 weeks ago when the head coach had the play calling taken from him by the man who was the executive vice president of football operations. Well, that guy he resigned, essentially fired just a couple of days ago. So the dysfunction continues off the field. But as I bring in John Gruden and Ron Jaworski, on the field, the Redskins guys are playing their best football of the season. So it's going to be a tough ask for the Giants tonight. You told us in the preseason this Giants offense was all about Eli Manning. It's his team. Well, if it's his team, it's his time, Jaws.
Eli Manning has hoisted the Vince Lombardi trophy. He's been a Super Bowl MVP. Now, finally in his 6th season, this is Eli Manning's football team. He's playing the best football of his pro career. Last week against the Philadelphia Eagles, he was outstanding. Probably his best game as an NFL quarterback. And he told us last night, we consider ourselves a playoff football team. Well, Eli, it's time for you and the Giants to prove it.
And to do it against a Redskins team that's playing great defense. John, when you look at this Washington team, I know the record's 4-9. They have not beaten great teams either. But when you watch them on tape, especially the last 4 games, are you impressed with what you're seeing?
Yes, I am. It's been hard on these guys to wake up every day, come in here and prepare like they have. But they have an outstanding defensive tackle here named Albert Hainsworth. 6'6", 350 pounds. That's the $100 million man. And at middle linebacker, they have a human tackling machine, London Fletcher. In the last decade, nobody's made more tackles in this league than that guy, London Fletcher. And I think they've got the rookie of the year here on defense, Brian Arakpo out of Texas. The guy plays 2 positions, defensive end, linebacker. He's got 11 sacks, and he's not your typical rookie.
They've cleared the field, obviously the snow, not an impact on the footing for the most part, except in the corners of the end zone. Off we go from Washington. Good kickoff by Gano. And Dominic Hickson will take a knee, and the Giants will take over at their own 20. Eli Manning, as he's done for every game since November of 2004, leads out the Giants offense. 85 straight starts. If you look at the stats, he's on his way, John, to one of his best statistical seasons of his career.
It's a credit to him. He's really worked well with these young receivers. And it's a credit to this entire offensive line and football team of the New York Giants. Eli Manning's running the show.
But he's got to start fast. Over the last 8 games, this offense and Eli have been slow starters.
Brandon Jacobs, the back, and play action on first down. And he slips it out complete to Pasco. Bear Pasco. After Bear Pasco, the first-year tight end, caught the first one of the night. Manning's second goes to the other tight end, Boss. Gain of 13 and the first down at the 42.
One of the things, when you play man-to-man coverage and you rush 5 guys, you've got to hold up in coverage. And this is a matchup they want. Landry against Boss, the tight end. It's just a basic cross. Nice square in and a good catch right there. But LaRon Landry's a guy the Giants want to get after in coverage tonight.
Eli checking. Sees the Giants have an opportunity against the 8th box.
It's a toss to Jacobs left. London Fletcher chases him down, but Jacobs steps out of bounds. Jacobs left, bring the offensive line that way, and Jacobs takes that to midfield where Hainsworth and Landry bring him down. Jaws, what has happened with Brandon Jacobs this year, averaging under 4 yards per carry?
Well, it's kind of interesting because the Giants have become a passing team, and that's kind of taken Brandon Jacobs out of their power running game. But also their offensive line, Mike, has not done as good a job as they have historically, especially getting their offensive line into the second level. Linebackers I've studied this Giants offense have been making tackles with Brandon Jacobs. In the past, linebackers were negated by that offensive line.
Bradshaw's the back. Now it's 3rd and 2. Third run left. Bradshaw, first down. To the 46. There's Landry over there with the tackle. And Tom Coughlin, in the meetings with him, he discussed the need to get on the board early. It has been a problem for the Giants over the last month and a half.
Yeah, they have really struggled early in football games. Their first 5 games when they were 5-0, they scored on the first possession every single game. They have struggled since then, and obviously so is their record, only 2-6 the last 8 games. They have been playing from behind rather than ahead, and that takes them out of the running game as well.
Travis Beckham, the tight end, is the motion man. And Eli goes the way of the rookie from Wisconsin to the 41-yard line. Landry the tackle.
Take a look at the right tackle, the rookie, Will Beatty out of Connecticut. He's got his hands full tonight. I think he's a natural left tackle, playing right tackle here against a good player in Phillip Daniels. But when you stand next to Beatty, you can see the long arms. You know he has good balance. He's got a huge upside, but right tackle, I don't think, is his natural position. Keep an eye on that tonight.
On second down, here comes Jacobs. The fullback Hedgecock gave him a block, and they run for a first down. It's a good drive. Started at their own 20, and they're to the Redskins 34. You know, you talk about Beatty, guys. It's very interesting. Their O-line has been together so long. They have so much unspoken communication, and that was one place the Giants were worried about, making sure Beatty was on the right page throughout the night.
Well, that was a nice job right there by Beatty coming around, and Hedgecock gets the block as well, but they sealed it to the inside, allowed Jacobs to get to the outside. That's a good way to get a young rookie tackle started. Run the ball right behind him.
4 runs, 3 passes on this drive for the Giants. It'll be Bradshaw. Runs into a little bit of Steve Smith, his own man, as he gets hit down hard there, shy of the 30.
You know, the one thing about this New York Giant running game, everybody says, what's wrong with the running game? Well, Bradshaw's been hurt. This guy's playing with an injury a lot of guys wouldn't play with, Ron. This is an ankle injury that could develop into a break at any time. Tom Coughlin, they x-ray him every week. They're concerned about it. Derek Ward left for Tampa Bay last year. They haven't had that stable of backs that they've had in years past with Tiki Barber and Ron Dane. They're light at the running back position.
They're empty now on this second down. Eli throws high and incomplete.
Well, that's Smith. Mike, that's a throw Eli would love to have back. He had Steve Smith on a little turn route, wide open for the first down. The ball got away from him. Eli has been very accurate as of late. His mechanics have been very good. In his 6th season, he is now becoming a very consistent NFL quarterback.
In these third down situations, you know the Giants love to look for Steve Smith. He leads the NFL, number 12, in third down receptions.
35 of them, John. That's a lot.
Redskins bring pressure. They slip it to Bradshaw. 2 linemen to block. Bradshaw the first down to the 16-yard line, where Landry and Moore stop him, but a gain of 14.
Oh, I love this play. We used to call this a tank screen. Take a look at the tackle. He's going to block down, and the back is going to bluff that rusher, and then they get a lineman in front. And when you get Ahmad Bradshaw in the open field with linemen ahead of him, that's a problem for the Redskins. What a nice call by Kevin Gilbride. And that's good quickness upfield by Ahmad Bradshaw.
Seubert, the left guard, out there leading the blocking for the Giants in the red zone. As Jacobs gallops through the hole for about 5 to the 11-yard line as London Fletcher makes the tackle. We speak of the red zone, and it is part of the success of the Redskins and the failure for the Giants offense these last couple of weeks. Giants, a poor red zone team throughout the last 5 or 6 years. And the Redskins, the best red zone defense in terms of touchdown percentage allowed.
Yeah, 29%, Mike. Teams have been in the red zone against the Redskins 31 times. Only 9 times have they scored a touchdown. The Redskins certainly know how to bow their back down here.
Jacobs trying to turn the corner. Chased down by Ronaldo Wynn, the former Giant. It'll be third down. Jacobs limping back toward the huddle.
You're seeing a little template from the New York Giants right now in their running game. Misdirection. They're trying to get the Redskins defensive flow one way, come back another way. And John, we love those wraparound runs that have become very popular in the NFL this season.
I think the Giants are in 4-down territory. Don't be surprised if you see a draw play right here to Ahmad Bradshaw. They love to run the ball on 3rd down and 2 to 4.
Manning slips it to Bradshaw again. Bradshaw. It'll be 1st and goal for the Giants as he's stopped with forward progress at the 2.
Well, John, you
that's
mentioned
just
that
the form
tank,
of a
that
draw
tank
play.
screen again.
That's all it is, Ron. Watch the shotgun snap to Manning, and all Bradshaw's going to do is set up like he's blocking. He's going to turn around and look for the football. This is just another form of a draw play, and it's well designed against this zone defense that the Redskins play extremely well down in here in the red zone. But I like what Kevin Gilbride has done in this opening drive. This is almost an 8-minute process here, Jaws.
Kevin Booth in at left tackle, eligible receiver. 1st and goal for the Giants. Manning has one receiver in the end zone and could not get it to Boss. Incomplete. Reed Dowdy covering Kevin.
Probably had a chance early to loft the ball in the back of the end zone to Boss. After the play action, you'll see Eli eyes downfield looking for Boss. Throws it just a little bit flat. A little bit of arc. I think Boss may be able to track this one down. You'll see him come across the formation, fake the block. Now right there, throw it to the back pylon. I think if Eli would have gotten rid of it a little bit quicker, he would have had a better chance for 6.
15th play of this opening drive of the game. Jacobs stuffed by London Fletcher. He's been doing it for a long time, 12 years in the league. 3rd with the Redskins, never been to the Pro Bowl, but playing at that level this year.
You know, the Washington Redskins play great short yardage and goal line defense. Take a look at number 27, Jacobs, against Fletcher in the hole from the backside. That's a tremendous tackle against a 270-pound back. The Redskins are playing right now, I believe, without Albert Haynesworth.
Yeah, he's not feeling well on the sideline.
But he's the guy that normally congest these running lanes, but that's a heck of a play by London Fletcher.
They're going to spread him here, 3 wide. Let's see if there's another little screen to Bradshaw. It's worked. They'll hand it to him this time. And Bradshaw finds his way into the end zone. So they spread him out, and Bradshaw caps off a fabulous drive. It almost took 2/3 of the quarter.
Well, the Giants told us that, and you see it on their tape. They like running the ball in a 3-wide receiver set, and they love handing the ball underneath in the shotgun to Ahmad Bradshaw. Good surge on that right side of the offensive line and a nice finish. Good traffic run by Ahmad Bradshaw.
And Rich Seibert, the left guard, came around the horn, sealed back to the inside, and gave that little seam for Bradshaw to sneak it in the end zone.
And Seibert is the player who is hurt for the Giants, and they've already, without one offensive lineman, a starter in Kareem McKenzie. For Bradshaw, it's his first touchdown reception, 6th of the year. That's a troubling sign there for the Giants and their offensive line.
That was an amazing drive by the New York Football Giants. Only 5 minutes and 47 seconds left here in the first quarter. Good mix of run-pass.
9 runs, 7 passes on a 16-play drive. Last time the Giants had a 16-play opening drive for touchdown against the Bengals in 1991. So it's been almost 2 decades.
That's one way to help your defense. Yeah, they've been struggling. They've been on the field a lot. Seriously, a 10-minute drive.
Yeah.
Wow. They've got to feel good about that.
Lawrence Tynes adds the extra point. For all the fan base, but a lot of people can't get out of their side streets in this area. Very short sky kick that is caught at the 25 by Chris Wilson, and he'll move him out to the 33-yard line. It's been a lot of stretching and twisting in that Redskins huddle. These offensive guys tightened up. It's been a long time since they warmed up. Jason Campbell, his 50th NFL start. He's been through so much. Pretty good stretch here. Last 3 games, 7 touchdowns. First time he's had a stretch like that in his career. And they'll open it up empty in the backfield. Game's on right away. Good catch of a high snap and deflected at the line and incomplete as the Giants brought more than the Skins could handle.
I really like what the Giants did there. The Redskins shifted into a no-back set, and you saw the 2 inside linebackers. The Giants themselves automatic to a double-A gap, all-out blitz. And they are going to be one short in terms of protection. The ball's got to come out quick. Nice start for the New York Giants from a communication standpoint, Jaws. That's something we said they need to really work on.
Yeah, and Raybach snapped that ball a bit early. That threw the timing off.
Jonathan Goff with the deflection. 2nd and 10 out of the Cowboy playbook. A run with Quinton Ganther to the 38-yard line. Ganther is one of the running backs here behind Jason Campbell. Career high 17 touchdowns. Much has been made. First-round pick out of Auburn, his 5th year, and it's been anything but consistency in terms of Campbell and his coaching.
But he's playing much, much better, Mike, than the time we saw him early in the season. I think he's much more comfortable right now. The offense has been simplified, but the Redskins are still having trouble protecting him.
O.C. Umenyiora is now coming off the bench. In as a pass rusher, bottom of your screen. Campbell is hit, lost the football, recovered by the Redskins. Mike Williams fell on it and recovered it as the pressure came from Justin Tuck.
Well, that's what you want to see from the New York Giants. Great opening possession on offense and a beautiful 3-and-out on defense. But watch Justin Tuck on the inside stunt. Poor switch by the right guard, Mike Williams. And Jason Campbell, that's his 31st fumble since 2007. That's been a problem for him throughout his career.
39-yard Hunter Smith punt returned to the 37-yard line by Dominic Hickson. Giants scored on the opening drive, hold the Redskins to 3-and-out. Pivotal game for New York at 7-6 in the NFC wild card chase. They cannot win the division. With Dallas and Green Bay battling for those wild card spots. Rich Seibert, the guard, sprained knee, being x-rayed. Kevin Booth replaces him. So 2 backups on the field for the Giants up front. Manning, first down for Steve Smith. Incomplete, tightly defended by D'Angelo Hall. Back for the first time in a month, coming off a right knee injury. Speaking of knee injuries, Seibert, 69 on the touchdown.
See right there, Ahmad Bradshaw falling on the back of his knee. Ugh, very unfortunate.
I think it's important for the New York Giants to put the hammer down right now while they have momentum in their favor. To talk to all these spoiler teams, don't let the Redskins hang around.
2nd down, quick try for Nix was nearly intercepted as Hall was there again in coverage.
Back-to-back plays, D'Angelo Hall in bump and run coverage, just daring Eli Manning to throw the football. And I love the fact that Eli is doing that. You cannot allow a cornerback to just get up and take a wide receiver man-to-man. But certainly D'Angelo Hall made 2 outstanding plays back-to-back. Well, take your shots. All right, John, don't let him get up in your face and take you out of the game.
Don't let it happen, Jaws.
That's right.
3rd down, Washington goes 6 defensive backs. The linebacker, Fletcher, who's not doing Simon Says. He's getting them all in order. They drop 8 in coverage. And Manning finds an opening for a first down to Smith across midfield and into Redskin territory at the 49.
3rd down and Steve Smith. That's what I call the New York Giants. They love to look for their go-to guy. It's just going to be a 12-yard hook. Good pass protection. Good 5-step, 2-hitch rhythm by Eli. I tell you, Jaws, Eli is throwing the ball as good as anybody in the business on 3rd down. That includes the sheriff up in Indianapolis.
Whoa. I like that.
First down, complete for another first down. The big hands of Nix. That's a 20-yard gain and Olay by LaRon Landry. Missed him.
What I like about Eli Manning is his ability to process the information quickly. He reads the coverage fast. He had quick pressure in his face, but he knew right where to go with the football at the top of his drop. You'll see him right here. There's pressure on him, but he knows right where his receiver is going to be. And you see the good move back to the inside by Nix. But that's all Eli right there. Getting the ball out of your hand before the rush gets to you.
See the way Nix holds that ball? He has massive hands. Looks like a softball in his hand, you know?
Yeah, he's still going to fumble one, though. You got to have to take care of the football.
Jacobs for a gain of 4 to the 24. And McIntosh and Fletcher on the tackle. Hakeem Nicks was the first-round pick, guys, out of North Carolina. Mario Manningham's in his second year out of Michigan. Steve Smith is third year out of USC. You got 3 young receivers, and they've really come on. That was the question when we saw these guys up in August in their training camp in Albany.
They haven't just come on. Those 3 guys combined have 173 catches. Steve Smith's broken the single-season New York Giant record for catches in a year. And I love the way Eli Manning's been working with these guys since April.
Well, you're bringing the stats tonight, John.
Jacobs right. It's a more Jacobs-like run. Third and a couple coming up.
You know, just like his older brother Peyton, who's playing with Garcon and Collie up in Indianapolis, I know this guy, Eli Manning, spent countless hours with Hakeem Nicks, Manningham in April, May, June, working on the fine points of splits, hand signals, route adjustments, countless hours of study and tape. When you play with one of these Manning brothers, it ain't a 9-to-5 job. It's 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., and boy, has it paid off for these young receivers.
Tied up against the play clock here. Third and a long yard. Timeout. Third and a long yard here for the Giants. They run Jacobs, who keeps the pile going. And we'll check the mark and probably have a measurement here with about 90 seconds left in the first. Oh, they're going to give him the first down.
Whoa, I don't know about that one.
Really?
That was pretty quick to jump in there.
They had to just get to the yard marker at the 18-yard line. And the Giants are now 6 of 6, John, on third down conversions.
Well, 6 for 6 is hard to beat. Is that Walt Coleman down there? I see Walt.
Yes, Walt is our referee for the game here tonight.
One of your dear friends.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him in a blizzard, it wasn't a good deal for me.
Walt was the referee in the tuck game with the Patriots and the Raiders.
John's face is very red right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Manning over the middle. Boss hit hard, but he holds on. Fletcher tackles him. Boy, he has been hit hard a lot this year. Remember the shots he took earlier in the season against Arizona and San Diego.
Well, that's a Tampa 2 defense. You're going to see the middle linebacker get deep down the hole, and Arakpo's reading the quarterback's eyes. But when London Fletcher gets that kind of depth, they're going to hook the tight end right in front of him. It's a nice rally and a collision. But the Giants are doing an excellent job keeping this defense off balance here in this first quarter.
Yeah, but John, unfortunately, the collision is 9 yards downfield. They got to react quicker than that.
Second and 1, Bradshaw inside the 5. It'll be first and goal. That's one of the most dominant quarters I've seen all year. The Redskins went 3 and out. The Giants scored on a 16-play drive. They're going to start the second quarter with play 10 of this drive. Wow.
25 plays for the Giants, 3 for the Redskins.
Second quarter, FedEx Field, just outside of Washington, D.C. Susie Culver on the sideline. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski in the booth. Giants with a dominant opening quarter, and it's first and goal to start the second. Bradshaw the back. Ahmad works inside, tackled by Rocky McIntosh, gain of about a yard.
One of the benefits in running the football is time of possession. And when you can run the ball with any kind of consistency, you can control the clock, and it helps your defense. This time of possession, I can't remember seeing a game like this, Jaws. It's over 14 minutes to 1 minute. And that's what the Giants need to do, is get back to this first and second and normal running game.
Giants defense is logging this.
Bradshaw to the left, untouched. Touchdown.
Well, they haven't been pulling linemen as much, I think, this year as they have last year. But here's a nice off-tackle play to your left side. Take a look at it. They're going to pull the uncovered lineman. Here's Booth coming around the corner, filling in for Seibert. Good point of attack blocking by their tight end Boss, and that's a walk-in touchdown. This is a unbelievable statement by both teams.
The New York Giants left side of their offense line just collapsed the right side of the Redskins defense. Dominant thus far by the New York Giants.
There is Daniel Snyder, the owner and chairman of the Washington Redskins. Owned this team for 11 years, making news this week as Vinny Serrato, who was the executive vice president of football operations, resigned. And that man Bruce Allen, who has run the football operations with the Buccaneers and the Raiders over the last decade, has come in now to take over as the general manager, his title, of the Redskins. He's sitting up in the coach's box watching the game tonight and getting a feel for what's going on here. He's hired before the end of the season and really doing an assessment and evaluation as he returns to Washington, where, of course, his dad, George Allen, as many of you know, coached the Redskins for 7 years. And getting a look at a team that has not answered the bell, 14-0. Regular kickoff now, and Rock Cartwright will take it back for Washington, and he's hit hard. Knocked down to the 17 by Chase Blackburn, the linebacker. And, of course, now Bruce, who is there on the right, GM, and we visited with him before, and he told us that, as Dan Snyder said at the press conference, he has the power to hire or fire a coach, and that certainly is something that's been talked about, the future of Jim Zorn here in Washington. Slant pass caught to Devin Thomas. Good play for the Redskins near a first down, but a penalty marker is down. That is our first flag of the night. I think two guys were moving at once.
Illegal shift. 2 men moving and not resetting on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Let's talk about Bruce Allen for a second. Who's watching this, and I mentioned you were with him for 9 years at Oakland and Tampa Bay. What he brings to the table for this Redskin franchise.
Well, he understands their tradition. His dad created it. But this guy's a winner. He's won 5 division titles on 2 different teams. He's got a tremendous amount of experience. He's worked for Al Davis, worked for Malcolm Glazer. He worked for Donald Trump.
Did he really?
He was a college coach. He's been in the USFL. He's just a all-purpose experience. I think an outstanding hire for the Redskins.
1st and 15, Quinton Ganther with a nice run. Kept his feet going before he was finally brought down. See how he holds up, 74. Campbell's throw into a tight spot is deflected and nearly intercepted. Terrell Thomas with the coverage for the Giants. And the Giants are really banged up in the back end. And Aaron Ross, who's been bothered by hamstring all year, misses the game with a hamstring. He hurt again this week. 3rd and 10, Santana Moss. Good job by Thomas and Johnson. Another 3 and out. And the fans who dug their way out of the snow, not happy with their offense.
And Mike, when you look at how the Redskins play offense, it's a short passing game. You'll see it right here. Santana Moss. In fact, 24% of the Redskins' passes are thrown behind the line of scrimmage. 79% of their passes go 10 yards or less. The Giants are sitting on all those routes right now.
Hunter Smith's kick is 44 yards. Caught at the 38 by Hickson. He can get past here, had some room, but he's brought down in Washington territory by Reed Doughty. 47-yard line. Handed to Nix, the rookie receiver. Did not step out of bounds, and it's only going to lose about a half a yard. D'Angelo Hall gets it over the sideline of Tom Coughlin's team, up 14-0. John?
I'm really impressed with what Tom Coughlin did this week. He let his players know this is single elimination for us. They went back to fundamentals on the practice field, playoff-type practices. And he's embarrassed, really, personally, about their turnover ratio. He's disappointed in the physicalness in which this Giant team has played. And I got a feeling Tom Coughlin is going to really have a great closing month of this season, Jaws. You know he's one of the best in football.
Yeah, John, he used the word embarrassed because he does preach ball security, and the Giants have not been very good at that.
Another screen to Bradshaw. This has been working very well. He stopped just shy of the 40-yard line. We're going to have 3rd and 3. 2004 was the year. Bradshaw, after that play, hobbled off the field, so Jacobs is in on 3rd and 3. 4 receivers and a first down from Manningham. Mario hit by D'Angelo Hall, and the Giants are getting yards on 3rd down with ease. 7 of 7 tonight.
It's been surgical by Eli Manning so far. It looks like he knows what the Redskins defense is going to do. Here he sets up in the pocket, surveys downfield, knows where his receivers are, knows where the guarantee is if he can't get the ball downfield. And there you go. There's Mario Manningham sitting there waiting for the first down catch.
Jacobs to the right with an opening. They're lucky for the Redskins. that Chris Wilson got a piece of Jacobs' jersey. Otherwise, he would have been deep to the secondary.
Boy, the New York Giants got it going now. Watch this counter play. You're going to see the fullback Hedgecock and the left guard Booth pull to the point of attack. Nice kick out by Madison Hedgecock. I would not want to be Reed Doughty looking at that coming downhill. But the New York Giants, let's say it like it is, they are ripping the Washington Redskins apart right now.
Well, Kevin Gilbride, everything he's dialing up is working right now.
Manning, Smith, another first down. This is the biggest tail kicking I've seen in the first 20 minutes of a game all year. Play action first down. Manning with time again. The throw is incomplete. It bounced before Smoot could get it. He's trying to bring it back all the way. But it was immediately ruled on the field incomplete, and then it bounced. Let's get a look at the replay.
Another throw that just got away from Eli Manning. He was looking for Boss coming across and threw it high. Obviously, the ball bounced off the ground, incomplete.
Redskins very late getting their substitution package in. The Giants, you see it there, ready to go. Adjust the play to this run for Jacobs, who gets it to the 10-yard line against Bernal Jacobs. He asked out a couple of plays ago, but Bradshaw, we mentioned, hobbled off earlier in this drive. And looks like he's ready to come back in now.
Hey, you know, this guy Eli Manning does more at the line of scrimmage than most guys. And you talk to these offensive linemen, they'll tell you that. He's going to audible not only the protection and the route, he's going to audible these run blocking schemes. He understands everything there is to know about this Giant offense, and it shows.
You see Hainsworth, he was sick to his stomach earlier. Back in the game on this drive, 3rd and 8. Manning sacked by Hainsworth.
Well, I think Albert was sick to his stomach watching the defense when he was on the sideline. Decided to come back out there and do something about it. I mean, Albert Hainsworth, when he decides to get it going, he can handle anybody. You see him handle Kevin Booth right there easily. That's a guy that's huge at 350 pounds. You can see the incredible movement that he has. Just handled Booth very easily.
And a nice rush by Arakpo, too. Gave Manning no place to look. So Lawrence Tynes will try from 38. Very concerned about the footing on the field here tonight. Good footing, good kick. 17-0 Giants. And with all the teams involved, you don't know who's going to be playing with what on the line. So it's very hard to handicap the situation down the stretch. Devin Thomas kickoff return for the Redskins. Stopped at the 17-yard line by C.C. Brown.
Well, if the Dallas Cowboys are watching this, they can't get here fast enough right now.
That deserves a wow.
Yeah. Wow. You know, the Giants defense been under the gun a little bit. You know, Bill Sheridan, people talking about him. I'll tell you what, that defense is going to go way up in the rankings after this performance.
Bill Sheridan, Giants defensive coordinator, feeling the fire in New York with this unit struggling. First down toss to Quinton Ganther, a gain of 1.5 yards. That says volumes about the NFL right now. 2nd and 9. Fumble is sacked. Jonathan Goff grabs one. What a start for the Giants defense.
Jason Campbell has no chance. It's a quick drop. Goff right up the middle. You'll see it here. Here comes Goff right through that A-gap between the guard and the center. Ganther does not get over quick enough to pick him up. Pre-snap, you got to see that coming. Step up, take him on. Not happening. Right now, the Redskins offense getting humiliated.
Last week against the Eagles, first career interception for Goff. Their first career sack. 8 plays, -2 yards for Washington. Campbell, 9 plays, -2 yards. Justin Tuck knocked him down.
You know, that's just a terrible series by the Redskins offense.
Really?
First play, they run a toss. Santana Moss misses a block at the point of attack. Second play, your young back and your left guard aren't on the same page. Your quarterback gets hit right in the head by an A-gap blitz. And that's just a prayer right there on 3rd and 15.
Not a pretty punt by Smith. It'll result in 42 yards. No return. Only thing that's gone wrong for the Giants so far is their kicker, Lawrence Tynes. Susie Colbert tells us he is a strained right hamstring. He's over on the sideline trying to see if he can continue kicking. Other than that, everything perfect for the G-men, leading 17-0. Manning's throw is complete on first down for about a half dozen yards. Fletcher with the tackle. London getting Steve Smith. Well, Jim Zorn has dealt with a lot this year. Second year as the Redskins coach, under contract for another year after this. Remember, he was brought in to be the offensive coordinator, the play caller, through a bizarre search for a head coach when they couldn't find anyone. They interviewed the guy who was already around, pre-hired as the offensive coordinator, and he became the head coach. It has been a very tumultuous season, but he gets a lot of credit because his guys have stayed with it and not given up. This is their worst performance in the last month and a half. Jacobs left. No gain. It'll be 3rd down, Jaws.
You know, Mike, you got to feel for Jim Zorn. It's been an untenable situation for him. Very difficult to deal with what he's had to deal with. He had his legs cut off from him earlier in the season. He was a coordinator. That hurt badly. That was a deep wound because that was the one thing that Jim Zorn loved to do. He loved to call the plays. All of a sudden, here we are 2 weeks ago, new general manager come in. There's talk about a new coach coming in. It's probably going to happen. Well, you have a coach in place right now and a darn good person. I have a lot of respect for what Jim Zorn has done here and the way he's handled that situation. Unfortunately, his team hasn't shown up tonight.
3rd and 5. They pick up all the pressure, and Manning hits Nix. There goes Hakeem Nicks. 1st and goal, Giants at the 6.
This guy, Hakeem Nicks, last first rounder to come out of the University of North Carolina and become a Giant was Lawrence Taylor. But watch Hakeem Nicks close the cushion down, come off the ball, get out of his break, and find the rock. And that's an excellent throw by Eli. The New York Giants love to run these deep square ends. Don't be surprised if they have a double move off that later. But you see the flash that Hakeem Nicks brings to New York. They're excited about this guy.
And he came back to the football on a square in. Well, you got to love that as a quarterback. It's going to give you a nice window to throw into.
45 yards to Nicks. 1st and goal. Manning to the corner of the end zone. Steve Smith. The romp rolls on. Touchdown, Giants. Four possessions, 3 touchdowns, 1 field goal.
Well, you get the isolation route, man-to-man coverage. Justin Tryon, match against Steve Smith. No shot. Steve Smith too quick at the line, gave the inside move, came to the outside. Easy throw for Eli Manning, 6 points for the New York Giants. Everything Kevin Gilbride is dialing up is working.
Steve Smith, who has set a Giant record for the most receptions in a season by a New York receiver, adds a touchdown there. Hakeem Nicks, his opposite starter, had a 45-yarder. 24-0.
And it hasn't been that close. 39 plays for the Giants, 9 plays for the Washington Redskins. The Giants, 226 yards. The Redskins, -2.
Here's Devin Thomas. Brings it out for Washington to the 26-yard line. Hickson with the tackle.
Take a look at the touchdown. It's just a 5-man rush. And when you have help to the inside and you're playing outside technique and you're Justin Tryon, don't get beat to the outside. You have no help there. That's just bad defense right there. And if you make mistakes against the Tom Coughlin coach football team or an Eli Manning quarterback team, good luck.
You make that mistake against any team, you're going to get beat. Play your help.
Quinton Ganther reverses field. -2 thrown down by Terrell Thomas. You get a first down when you score a touchdown. So statistically, that adds to the first down total. Right now, first downs are Giants 16, Washington none, as we get to the 4:10 mark of the quarter.
You know what the New York Giants need? Defensively, offensively, they need a dominating performance to really get the edge back around campus there, Josh. You know how it is.
Yeah.
They need to get their swagger back, and a convincing victory can do that for these guys.
I mean, a lot of the talent level there is from the pass rushing side, but they were losing their confidence.
Campbell just getting rid of it as the first blitzer was picked up, and the fans are booing, and they booed loudly after the last touchdown. I saw fans leaving. Even that nice young lady is yelling at her team. I mean, some of these folks, some of these folks did a lot to dig out. And if you're in a place where there's a lot of snow normally, you say, what's the big deal? In D.C., you don't get 1.5 feet of snow. People spend hours digging out. Schools were canceled. Non-essential government employees were told to stay home today. They shut down the government, but still these people got here to see this.
And that's the tragedy of this franchise right now. These fans love the Redskins. I mean, this was a storied, historic franchise at one time. Now it's a mess.
And they got a first down. Jason Campbell ran for it and took it to the 40-yard line.
And the crowd's going crazy right now. A first down.
On their 12th play of the night.
Well, that's the one thing Jason Campbell brings to the party, mobility. He can move. Someone's got to get a first down. Here he breaks the pocket. Jason Campbell, at 230 pounds, gets the first down.
We've seen this scene, too, a lot, Jaws. Jason Campbell being pounded to the turf. That time after getting a first down, he has been slow to get up a lot this year. There's Ganther spinning for about 2 or 3 yards. The Giants defensive coordinator is Bill Sheridan, who was a position coach last year and took Steve Spagnuolo's job when Steve became the head coach in St. Louis.
Yeah, and it's been tough on him. This guy, he wants to be up in the press box. He's down on the field. His middle linebacker, his quarterback of the defense, Antonio Pierce, is out. I don't know who these corners are. They're new players. A rash of injuries. Kenny Phillips, our star safety man. It's been hard on him. But this is a good start tonight for this Giant defense.
Campbell got out of the pocket, out of the tackle box, and got rid of it. But did the ball ever reach the line of scrimmage? We have penalty marker down. I think a lineman's illegally downfield as well.
Yeah, you're going to have Casey Raybach, the center downfield. The screen was being set up to the right for Jason Campbell. Screen was well diagnosed by the New York Giants. Jason Campbell had to throw it away. Incomplete pass, but it was a pass. That meant an offensive line was illegally downfield.
And they just dropped a second flag for intentional grounding. It was right at the feet of Walt Coleman. He just dropped it amongst the 3 officials.
I never understood how you can have intentional grounding on a screen. You know, if the defense diagnoses the screen and knocks the screening back down, there's nowhere to throw the ball away.
There are 2 fouls on the offense. An eligible downfield, number 61 of the offense. That penalty's declined. Intentional grounding, number 17 on the offense. That penalty will be accepted. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. Loss of down. 3rd down.
Jim Zorn saying the same thing you are, John. We saw the back get hit there. You know, guys, come back to Bill Sheridan for a second, the defensive coordinator for the Giants. And you mentioned missing Antonio Pierce. We don't think of the quarterback of the defense being as important as the quarterback of the offense, but you know how huge it is now.
Oh, yeah, it's huge. You know, they had a guy here, a great defensive coach, Steve Spagnuolo, who's with the Rams now. And the Rams, I believe, are 30th in defense. The players also have a lot to do with it. And when you lose your signal callers, you lose key elements of your defense, it's not going to be as good. And I think people need to keep that in mind.
3rd and 20. Antoine Randall a catch. But it was 10 yards shy of the first down as Campbell gets knocked down again at the 2:07 mark of the half.
You know, John, I would agree with you. As I studied the Giants defense, and I look at the coaching tape, I thought a lot of the criticism for Bill Sheridan was misguided. There were a lot of mental errors by the defensive players, which resulted in big plays against that defense. Once you correct those mental errors, the coach can't go on the field and line up for you. Can put you in a position to make plays, but if you don't follow the coaching, you're going to make mistakes, and that's what was happening to the Giants defense.
Hunter Smith's best punt of the night is fair caught at the 17 by Dominic Hickson. $1:55 to go. The Giants have 2 timeouts and a 24-0 lead. Five in the pattern for Manning. It's deflected and incomplete. Good hands in there by Carlos Rogers to break up the pass.
Kevin Booth has stepped in for Rich Seibert, done a heck of a job. Gave up that one sack to Albert Hainsworth, but he showed up in the running game.
D'Angelo Holmes is the tackle as Bradshaw ran to the right. Well, third down coming up, guys. In that 4-receiver look on first down, Dominic Hickson was out there for the Giants because Hakeem Nicks walked back to the locker room to be looked at before the half. So the Giants have lost a couple of players on their offense, already without Kareem McKenzie, their starting tackle tonight, yet they're rolling. See if the Redskins defense can come up with a play. Off the shoulder of Bradshaw, and incomplete, so Washington will get the ball with $1:10 left. And a full complement of timeouts.
Well, they ran that tank screen, as John calls it. I'll call it the slip screen. Finally, the Redskins were able to stop it. Right there, you see Bradshaw. He's going to fake the block, then check down, but Albert Hainsworth reads the play and tips the ball away. That play has been very successful up until the Redskins finally stopped it. That play.
Santana Moss goes back for Jeff Fiegel's punt, 43 years old. 350th straight game. Rarely lets the returner catch it. And if he does, he's got nowhere to go. He's phenomenal at directional kicking.
Well, you see number 31, Rock Cartwright, come into the running back position for the Redskins. This is their pass protecting back, and they have got to help give this guy some protection. The Redskins have got to get something before intermission.
All the timeouts, and then 62 seconds, and look out from behind. Chased down by O.C. Umenyiora is Campbell, who is, again,
he's
down
hurt on this one, too. And this is a feeding frenzy right now for the New York Giants. He's hurt. Campbell's hurt.
Take time out. You got 3. Your quarterback's here arriving.
But you got to know, you got a backup left tackle who's struggling. Why wouldn't you chip O.C. Umenyiora? That's a mismatch. Levi Jones just got here a few weeks ago. Chip this guy. Umenyiora, 7th sack of the year. And when this guy feels it, if he comes back to life, the New York Giants could be in business.
As they look at Campbell, 38-year-old Todd Collins warms up on the sideline. Will step out. All right, just about 15 seconds ago, Jason Campbell being helped back to the Redskin locker room. Undoubtedly x-rays, and he will be looked at. It has been a very tough season. He's taken a physical pounding, sacked 36 times coming into tonight. So as Campbell goes out, Todd Collins comes in, 15th year in the league out of Michigan. He's played in 2 games this year. Replaced Campbell when he was benched in the game against Kansas City and mop-up duty in the blowout at Atlanta.
And here come the Giants with their blitz. Look. And there, oh boy.
Well, Cartwright was back there and switched sides, and it was his pass protection, John pointed out, when this drive began.
Illegal snap on the center.
Well, take a look at it. Cartwright's in the game. It's an obvious passing situation. You know Levi Jones is going to have a trouble blocking Umenyiora. So check your linebacker, then chip the defensive end, and then release. And I didn't see that happen from Cartwright. I thought he just took off and left Levi hanging by himself. This is not good football we're watching from Washington, Ron.
Thanks for alerting me to that, John.
Here's Collins, deep shot, Santana Moss. Got it. Nearly dropped it, but holds on at the 25. Nice to spin the ball, but you're in a 2-minute drill. You want to hustle here.
Spin the ball and you're down 24-0. I don't get it.
That was good football there. Great throw, and the Redskins use a timeout.
You almost dropped it.
It's a 47-yard gain for Washington. double what they had up to that point in the half.
How about Todd Collins coming into the game cold on a night like this where everything has gone wrong, and you throw a bullet to Santana Moss for the biggest play Washington has had all night.
Well, Todd Collins has been around. He understands how to play the position. He got nailed on this play as well, as you'll see. Just as he gets rid of the football, here comes Tuck around to the outside and OCU Manure on the inside. He gets it off. But Todd Collins is used to whipping the cape off and running out on the field, making plays.
Remember, Todd Collins came in at the end of the 2007 season, guys, when Jason Campbell was hurt, stepped in, won 4 straight games, and got the Redskins to the playoffs. Joe Gibbs last year. He has not played on Monday Night Football since November of '97. So this makes him the 3rd player to go a decade between Monday Night Football appearances. And he's seeing a Giants blitz. He gets rid of it incomplete. They could have picked there, Goff or Thomas. Either one had a free shot.
Well, you empty the back out. You've only got 5 blockers. You have to have a hot receiver somewhere. But the New York Giants.
John, check this out. Didn't mean to interrupt you. OCU Manure dropping out into coverage on Santana Moss, running deep down the field with him. I mean, Bill Sheridan is going deep into the play, but he come up with some gimmicks and gadgets right now. But that was beautiful.
Well, the Giants get a big lead like this. These defensive coordinators and defensive players love to dial up their blitz packages.
2nd and 10. Collins down the middle. Fred Davis had it, then loses it. Ruled incomplete. Ruled an incomplete play. Michael Johnson had the hit and comes away with it. On the field called incomplete. Any reviews? Last 2 minutes automatically done upstairs.
Boy, but what a throw by Todd Collins. Really, you can see, well, no. Fred Davis never really had complete control of the football. Had a chance for 6 points for the Redskins, couldn't hold on.
Excellent close by Michael Johnson, and that's a good use of the hands by Michael Boley. That's too bad. That was a well-thrown ball by the veteran Collins.
Well, he almost had it. Collins' headset is not working with the wireless communication, so he's had to run over to get the play calls from the sidelines, and that's why this happened.
Delay of the game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Now, I want to make a point. There's this bizarre play calling system where the offensive consultant, Sherm Lewis, calls the plays that are passes. Run plays are called by Sherm Smith, the offensive coordinator on the sideline. Jim Zorn calls a lot of the 2-minute drill. Through all of this unbelievably strange system, there's only been 1 delay of game penalty on the Redskins, and that was on a 4th down when they were doing it on purpose to take the 5-yard penalty. So they've gotten the plays in. This is because the communication to the helmet isn't working for Collins. Pass is caught by Randall L. Crawls to the 20, and Collins hit again, and he's dragged off the turf. They'll let it run down and try a field goal attempt with Graham Gano.
Well, they're hitting the quarterback on every play, and all the Giants are doing is stunting over and over and over. And I haven't seen the Redskins pick up many of these yet. Here's a straight outside rush the other way, and Umanora beats Levi Brown clean to the inside. If my quarterback is taking that kind of pounding, I'd probably get really upset, Jaws. Yeah, they call these sacks nowadays. Some of these aren't sacks. These are car wrecks. You have got to take care of your quarterback. And I realize the Redskins are decimated on their offensive line. But, boy, these 2 guys have really been rocked in the first half.
You know, this is, like you say, Mike, the league's talking about expanding to 18 games. I don't know who's going to be playing quarterback late in the season.
This is the 2nd game for Graham Gano as the kicker. Redskins go to this swinging gate type look, and the Giants will take timeout. Giants have a timeout, so they'll take it here as the Redskins went to the tricks.
That's a great move by head coach Tom Coughlin. If you can see this, he'll run right down there and say, hang on a second, I've got timeouts too. But the swinging gate is one thing. When you shift into the swinging gate, that's another. And when you have as many injuries as the Giants have had, they've got a number of guys on defense that are new here as well. But watch them shift. Everybody's going to kick outside the numbers, and when you have as many injuries as the Giants have had, they've got a number of guys on defense that are new here as well. But watch them shift. Everybody's going to kick outside the numbers, and when you have as many injuries as the Giants have had, they've got a number of guys on defense that are new here as well. But watch them shift. And the snapper here is going to get a number count on whether or not he can run to the right or throw it to the left. Tom Coughlin took a wise move right there. Timeout.
And let me point out a couple of things about Hunter Smith, the holder. He's the first NFL specialist to run and throw a touchdown in the same season. Remember, he ran one against the Giants in the opener, and then he threw a touchdown pass to Mike Sellers in the game against Denver. So Danny Smith, the special teams coach, is showing a full bag of tricks this year. Yeah, do it again. Why not?
Why not?
And they'll send Gano in motion. And Smith, with the rush, will put it up. What in the wide world was that? Bruce Johnson with the interception. This is embarrassing. Johnson to the 40. Johnson to midfield. And taken out of bounds at the 45-yard line. And listen to this Christmas greeting.
I've never seen that day. I hope I never see it again, Jaws.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
They say it all.
Well, watch the shift. The guys are going to shift to the left again. And I think Hunter Smith is looking over here to see the deployment. Obviously, they have a number of guys in here, so he motions the kicker out. How about that protection? They don't even protect for their kickers here in the first half. I have never seen that play when you have a chance to get something on the board before the half.
Hey, we said the Giants can't let anybody behind them. They had 6 guys waiting there. Wow. Redskins will get the ball first to start the second half. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Susie Colbert on the sideline in a second. Good update on Jason Campbell. We'll talk about the Redskins here in a little bit, because I've never seen more bewildered looks on people's faces out in the press box at halftime. But talk to me about the Giants, because they said we need to win all 3, not mathematically true, but they came out, Ron, and played that way in a must-win.
Mike, they play like it was a playoff game. Like, every game is a must-win for the New York Giants now. That's how they showed up. You got to give Tom Coughlin a lot of credit. A tough loss last week to the Philadelphia Eagles. They knew what was on the line today, and they've showed up.
I agree.
Finally, you agreed with me. 15 weeks later.
Redskins trailed 24-3 at the half in Atlanta, game 8 of the season. Devin Thomas returns, tries the other way, and that's the wrong way. Oh, he gets crushed at the 15-yard line by Chase Blackburn. Here's Susie Colbert.
Well, Mike, Jason Campbell suffered so many shots in the first half. Jim Zorn told me going in at halftime that they would have to go with Todd Collins. He agreed, absolutely 0 protection. And that, he said, unacceptable. But this team has been playing with so much heart. He told me they're playing with no emotion. It's like they're just out there. He said, it's my job to go in at halftime, get them to regroup. But they've been such a resilient group. He promised they would play harder. As for Tom Coughlin, he said, same purpose, like it's 0-0, maintain the same level of intensity.
And Susie Ganther takes the carry here. He's going to lose 1.5 yards. And that resiliency that you talked about with the team in general is evident in Campbell, who talked the head coach, Jim Zorn, into letting him back in here in this third quarter. And after the way he was beat up and battered around in that first half, it says a lot about him to convince the coach to go back in and play.
We've seen it all season long that Jason Campbell has shown tremendous courage, and to come back into this situation, boy, just shows the kind of character this guy has.
On 2nd and 10, the pass is caught by Fred Davis, the tight end, for a first down out near the 25-yard line. Run by Ganther, gains about 7 yards. Kiwanuka with the tackle. Hey, John, this has to be a Herculean task to look at these guys in the locker room at 24-0 and say, go out and show us something here in the second half.
Well, obviously, Jim Zorn's made a couple changes already. Put number 73, William Robinson, in at right tackle. He can't be pleased with one element of the football that's been displayed by the Redskins tonight. You're not playing to get in the playoffs. You're playing for each other. And we're all playing for our jobs, and I think not much else needs to be said.
Well, Robinson, as Ganther carried there, didn't really get back to the line of scrimmage. Robinson is in for Stephon Heyer. Heyer banged up his knee that was on his injury list throughout. So Will Robinson making his NFL debut as he plays here.
You know, the Redskins have an offensive line coach here, Joe Bugle, one of the legendary assistant coaches, former head coach in this league. Coached the Hogs in their heyday under Joe Gibbs. There he is. This guy is one of the very best offensive line coaches that you'll ever have in football, Jaws.
3rd and 2 as Campbell gets on the move and completes the first down to Rock Cartwright. Into the clear, Cartwright. Speed of Terrell Thomas catches him inside the 20. Michael Boley with him as well. The Redskins to the red zone.
The gimmick and gadget plays catch the Giants defense off guard.
I like this play. They like to move the pocket. You're going to see motion, and Campbell faked the ball on a reverse, and they slip Cartwright out in a flat, and nobody covered him. Nice cutback run. Good pursuit on the backside. Watch it from number 24, Terrell Thomas. But that's good design and an excellent play to get some life into this Redskin crowd and offense.
Well, let's see if they can take advantage of that explosive play.
After a 51-yard game, the longest pass catch of Cartwright's mostly special teams 8-year career. Campbell hit as he throws, incomplete.
I mean, he has no shot. Jason Campbell, his back foot hits the ground. He can't even set to deliver the football. People in his face, people almost back there waiting for him at the top of his drop.
I think Bill Sheridan and this New York Giant defense, they want to get their pressure package going. Tom Coughlin told us, man, he says we have not gotten to the quarterback enough in terms of sacks. We haven't knocked them down enough. But tonight, I think that's 10 times Redskin quarterbacks have gone down hard.
2nd and 10. Here is Ganther. 3rd and 10.
They got him tonight.
3rd and 10. They're in field goal range if they try one. Campbell, back foot, puts it up. Incomplete.
Flag down. I believe you're going to get holding on Fred Davis. Or Fred Davis was held.
Well, it's going to be an all-out blitz, and it's going to be man coverage everywhere, and Campbell's got to get rid of the ball. You'll see him looking for Fred Davis on the shallow cross. He takes it up, and he got hooked right there. That's an obvious hold or a PI call. Let's hear Walt Coleman's analysis.
Holding. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
They got him for the hook.
How was that analysis?
Well, they got him. It's a shallow cross. It's a double move. You see the tight end Davis take it up the field, and Aaron Rouse did grab him. That's a good call by Walt Coleman.
Wow, that hurt.
7 words. 7 words you never thought you'd hear after the tuck rule play. It's good to see you've let it go, John.
He has.
It really is.
He has.
First call penalty against the Giants. It's 1st and 10 for Washington at the 11. More pressure. Tuck hits him as he throws to Davis. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
Now, I don't understand what the Giants did on defense that possession, coming out with these wild blitzes and man coverages with a convincing 24-point lead. The Redskins haven't picked up a 4-man rush tonight, but when you just run a simple angle route and don't cover Fred Davis, he's going to score. But the Washington Redskins, give them credit. They come out marching 80 yards down the field.
The extra point does not go in as Gano's knuckleball is knocked away at the line. Just when you thought it was safe to praise the Skins, they can't kick an extra point. The 24-6 after that extra point by Gano was blocked up front and twisted toward the uprights. Good drive by the Redskins. They had more yards, matter of fact, on that drive than they had the entire first half. Gano kicking. He replaced Sean Sweezum, who was released after his big miss against New Orleans. Sweezum, by the way, was signed earlier today by the Cowboys. He'll be here kicking next week. Giants got to get on this one as it's free at the 23. And they do. Always very important for New York as they go forward with their last 2 games against Carolina at the Meadowlands and at Minnesota to close the season.
What's up with the Vikings? Can't wait to find out when we go to Chicago next week.
Eli, big first half. The Boss, they run over the umpire, and Boss runs through the Redskins to the 42-yard line.
You know, one of the things about Brian Orakpo, he's a rookie out of Texas. He's a guy that really likes playing with his hand down, but when you put him in coverage, it's a little bit foreign to him. Here he is playing man-to-man coverage. He gets rubbed off by the official. That's a veteran move by number 89, Kevin Boss. Had a way to go. Had a way to use the official.
Jeff Rice lost his shoe. He may be
hope he's all right.
Bruised, but he's not injured. He just went down to his bottom to try to tie his shoe.
But if you go back to that, that is a common trend in football, has been over the years. That guy's in there, he's looking for holding calls. He steps up, and the tight end and these wide receivers that run these shallow crosses, oftentimes they use him to free themselves on these man-to-man crossing routes.
The umpire can be your friend in those crossing routes. Rub that defender off. You'll see it right here. As Boss comes across, there's a Rapco, and there's Mr. Rice, the umpire, getting knocked down.
Well, for the last few years, they've looked in preseason games, even tried it, to have the umpire back with the referee out of that spot to keep them healthy and to avoid being used as a human shield.
Johnny, you notice I called him Mr. Rice. You know, I have respect for the official.
Redskins wanted movement on the Giants there. Didn't get it. Here comes Brandon Jacobs left. Tackled by McIntosh and company. Gain of about 3.
That's one of the things Eli Manning does a great job of. You bring Boss in motion and you reset him because you see the strong side overload. He audibles to a weak side run, and there goes your 265-pound. Watch it. Boss comes over here. He sees the strong safety rotate. Let's audible to a weak side run and give the ball to our big back. That's just good heads-up football by Eli Manning.
Back to Jacobs for his 14th carry of the night. His total will stay at 48 yards. Redskins defense playing with a little more urgency. The Super Bowl 42 MVP, Eli Manning, of course, in the shadow of his brother Peyton, the big personalities he inherited with the Giants. We mentioned the huge contract and kind of becoming his team. But what you saw right there, what you just pointed out, John, and Jaws, you talked about this as well. Those are the stuff you cannot illustrate in stats.
No question. All too often we talk about the quarterback position, reading coverage, throwing to the right guy, getting the offense in the right play. Eli Manning in the running game, he reads the front, he reads the linebackers, he reads where to set up a good look for his running backs. That's key to this game.
See if the Redskins get pressure on 3rd and 8. Manning's throw is caught for the first down by Hickson inside 30 to 29.
Well, that's easy. You see the Redskins disguising blitz. They're sugaring the blitz. We're coming, we're coming. No, we're going to bail out of there, and they just throw a simple 5-step, 1-hitch hook route to Dominic Hickson. Very good protection by the New York Giants tonight. The Redskins have really been heating up their pass rush the last couple weeks. They haven't gotten there very often tonight, Jaws.
The most fundamental of all routes, the curl pattern, executed to perfection.
You see Fletcher banging his helmet. He's adjusting the Redskins defense as Manning checks it to Jacobs. Gain of about 3. Andre Carter off the line for the tackle.
Eli Manning playing darn good football.
9 different Giant receivers have caught balls tonight. Jacobs left to about the 23 run. You talked about accuracy, and that was an area where Eli struggled earlier in his career. How do quarterbacks get better, improve accuracy?
You know, I work a lot of camps with a lot of NFL coaches. We talk about, can you improve accuracy? And I say absolutely yes, and most guys do. Some people don't think you can. But I think when you throw the football, you don't throw for a body. You pick out a spot, you pick out a target, and try to hit that target. So if you miss by a little bit, your receiver can still make the catch. So I believe you can improve your accuracy.
What Drew Brees tell us? Where's he throw?
Oh, right at the eyes.
Right at the eyes,
always
right?
catch with the eyes.
3rd and 4. They rush 3. Manning throws to the corner. Touchdown. Derek Hagan. So with Nix injured in the back end of the first half, more opportunities. And the former Dolphin who never caught on in Miami, Hagan, responds to the Washington touchdown with 1 for the Giants.
Well, as we talk about Eli Manning throwing the ball with great accuracy, you'll see it right here. Again, it starts with protection against a 3-man rush, but he reads the coverage. He knows he's got Hagan matched up against Reed Dowdy, and there's a lot of space, a lot of air to throw the ball out to. And again, the accurate throw, reads the coverage, cross information quickly, touchdown New York.
I have not seen the yellow and blue New York license plate since I was a kid. That's old school license plate there. Wow. Rock Cartwright returning kicks. Devin Thomas took a big hit on the last one. A penalty marker is down as Cartwright is down at the 31-yard line. This one back behind the play.
41. Return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Kareem Moore flagged, and the Redskins will have a long field when we come back. This is always a beautiful city to visit, and in the winter with the holiday lights, and especially with the snow, just spectacular. See the Capitol Dome and the monuments in the background. 31-6, the Giants enjoying this trip to Washington, trying to sweep the Redskins this year. 154th time these two longtime rivals have played. 23-17 was the score at the Meadowlands Week 1. Campbell over the head of Fred Davis, into the hands of Terrell Thomas. A walk-in pick 6.
Wow.
It is about as embarrassing as it can get for any franchise with what we've seen here tonight.
Well, you can't throw too many screens in one game. That time they shifted into an empty backfield set. They fake a quick screen the one way, and they throw it back the other. Watch. He's going to fake the quick screen over here to the left. He's going to try to throw it to the tight end back to the right. He just overthrew the screen pass, and that's about as easy as life gets for Terrell Thomas.
Well, we've been talking about this Redskin team, their courage, the way they've been fighting and competing, and Jason Campbell been tough and hanging in there. They've had a terrible game, and Jason Campbell just made a terrible throw. All the good things we've been talking about are not happening for the Redskins tonight. Despite their 4-9 record, we thought they had some heart, something in the belly. They don't have it tonight.
38-6 on the Thomas pick 6. Second-year man at a USC. Second-round pick. 2008 comes up with the touchdown.
I think the big story here tonight is the New York Giants. They've come in here and done what they had to do. They have to treat every game as if it's a playoff game, and they've done that regardless of how you think Washington's playing. They've come in here in all 3 phases and lit Washington up. And I expect this to be a huge momentum boost for the New York Giants with just 2 games left, Jaws.
Well, when the Giants get it going, we all know what they can do. They did it a few years back in their run to win the Super Bowl. They get hot late in the season, especially now with a more mature Eli Manning at quarterback, a receiving core that could give you the explosive plays. And tonight they did get the running game going and the pass rush.
Cartwright from the 3. Takes it out to the 23-yard line. You know, guys, I was kind of looking forward to watching the Redskins tonight because you have a new guy in town with Bruce Allen. And when we visited with Bruce before the game, he was talking. I asked him directly. You guys were standing here with me. I said, so what are you looking for here these 3 games now that he's taken over as the general manager? And it was just a chance to assess everything and the way it's done. And we talked about for the players. You know you're being essentially auditioned here for 3 weeks. What do you have? What can you show? And this is the worst possible show you could have with somebody new in the front office. Marcus Mason, second-year running back out of Youngstown State, is tackled by Hugh Manure, a gain of a yard.
Yeah, but you know, one of the reasons Bruce Allen's here is there's a lot of problems right now.
Right.
I mean, there's some really tough decisions ahead of the Redskins. The Redskins were 4th in the NFL last year in defense. They added Albert Hainsworth and Brian Orakpo, and they didn't expect this. They've had a number of injuries. He's got a lot to figure out what to do at quarterback. Campbell's contract's up. What am I going to do with this offensive line? We have got to get ourselves some more playmakers on. Who's the tailback of the future? 3 of our starters on the defensive line are over 30. So they've got a lot of questions they've got to get solved.
Campbell throws complete to Santana Moss, fighting for a first down, a yard shy of it. And the first decision, one of the main decisions, is going to be what happens with the head coach and Jim Zorn. And there have been reports throughout the week, if you watched our Monday Night Countdown, Chris Mortensen's been talking about how Mike Shanahan is the likely next guy here in Washington. There's still a lot of miles and franchise situations and coaching moves to happen here over the next couple of months.
You know, but Mike, back to Bruce Allen. He has a unique opportunity to come in here and see 3 games played by the Washington Redskins. You know, he's going to be everywhere. He's going to be in the meeting rooms. He's upstairs with the coaches. He took the bus over here with the team. He's going to find out where the players are and where their hearts are.
Hustle by Fred Davis to keep that going to the 43-yard line and a first down. You know, we talk about a great run, and John, you experienced it firsthand, the Green Bay Packer run that they had in the Favre era and the Holmgren era. Of course, that team was built by one of the great executives in the modern NFL, Ron Wolf. You know, Ron got that job November 28th of 1991, so he had 4 games to assess what was there before coming in the next year with Holmgren and Favre, and we know what happened after that. So it's a similar type experience for Allen. Mason to carry on first down.
Speaking of Mike Holmgren, he's in a similar situation. It sounds like in Cleveland, but as you said, it's that time of year. This is a win or else league these days, and there's a very short memory. You've got to get results, and Bruce Allen, Mike Holmgren, 2 great football people, 2 great football minds, but it does take time.
It's a win now league, though, John. You don't have time. You don't have 3 and 5 years to rebuild. You have to win. You have to put it together quickly.
There goes Mason. Airborne as Goff hit him. The head linesman rules him down shy of the first down as this 5'9" back who was waived by Philadelphia got hit hard.
You know, this Jonathan Goff has come in here and played some good snaps for the Giants. Take a look at this guy. They need a physical presence on the inside to step up for Antonio Pierce. But that's just a good full-speed right shoulder collision. I like that play by Jonathan Goff.
Out of Vanderbilt, as you see, taken in the 5th round of the 08 draft. 3rd and short here for Washington. Timeout. Back at FedEx Field, largest house in the National Football League, 91,000 plus can fit in here. A hair shy of that at the moment. It'll be 3rd and short for the Redskins. Here, 2:25 left. 38-6, the Giants leading Washington. Yoder goes in motion, and Mason runs for a first down and more. To the 29-yard line, a 20-yard run for Marcus.
I don't know what that is this year with the Giants and their short yardage defense, but I think that's 16 out of 17 that they've had converted against them. But that's uncommon to have a hole that big, Jaws, on a 3rd and 1.
I mean, this is a gaping hole. I mean, I could have got a first down on that one. They just did a heck of a job clearing the path for Marcus Mason to hit it up in there. But again, explosive plays and short yardage against the Giants defense.
Play action with Mason, and Campbell gets it to Davis. He has emerged after the season-ending injury to Chris Cooley against the Eagles here on a Monday night, and really shown Washington they have a tight end of the future in this guy out of USC.
Well, it's another bootleg. You see Campbell faking to his left. He comes out to his right, and Fred Davis secures the edge, and he's a very elusive runner after the catch. I think that's one of his greatest strengths. This young guy from Southern California has really impressed people here on the staff the last month of the season.
Davis banged up on the play. He's come to the sideline. Here's Mason, local product, to the 5 and down to the 2-yard line.
Well, Mason's giving a little juice right now, getting the ball on the edge of the Giants defense and making plays.
Giants continue to blitz. It's another screen pass, and Marcus Mason does a nice job slipping out of the backfield. Campbell did a nice job seeing the throw. And who are these running backs? You got to really give the Redskin guys credit. This is 4 or 5 different running backs I've seen play for these guys this year. And Marcus Mason.
They couldn't get the personnel right here on this one as well. They're running guys in and out as the play clock's down to single digits. And just able to get it off. Ganther runs left and gets it. Touchdown, Washington.
Little life coming back to the Redskins on that drive. Ran the ball very effectively. Mike Sellers, the lead blocker here. Just the speed of Ganther gets to the outside to the pylon for the Redskins touchdown. Danny Clark could not catch him from behind.
Well, the chart says when you're down 24, you go for 1. It says when you're down 25, you go for 2. But it doesn't say what you do when you're down for 26. So they go for 2 and do not get it, as they're stopped with Ganther short of the goal line. Every team has a chart that mathematically figures out go for 1, go for 2, except for genius next to me, Gruden, who didn't need a chart. He just figured it out.
Yeah, right.
Every time I look at the chart, you look at me like, why can't you figure that out? Huh? Here's the run by Ganther. He got his back turned around. The ball was on the other side, so he couldn't break the plane.
And you're not really pointing out, guys, that some of those players that are hurt are Pro Bowl players. When you talk about Chris Samuels and Chris Cooley, Clinton Portis, those are your faces of the franchise. And when you lose guys like that in the modern day of football with all these salary caps and all these stats that you have, Jaws.
Yeah, your hands get tied, though.
You know, it's hard to replace these guys. Yep. And it has really taken its toll, I think, on the Redskins. And it's obviously affected the play of their quarterback and the play of the entire football team.
Well, the offensive line, if you have instability up front, you can't get anything going. The running game or the pass game, that really has been the downfall of the Redskins, the offensive line woes.
You know, kicking to Hickson from the 5. Nice return for Hickson out to the 36-yard line with a couple of seconds left here in the third quarter. It's one of the reasons everyone was so surprised at how well the Redskins have played in the last 3 games. Tight games, close losses, up until the last game, I should say, when they went to Oakland and beat the Raiders handily.
You know, though, everybody talks about that, Ron. They've beaten one team this year with a winning record. That would be the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos played half of that game without their starting quarterback. This is pro football.
It's about winning. They're a 4-9 football team. We talk about, hey, they're playing hard. Well, you're supposed to play hard. You're paid millions of dollars to play hard. At the end of the day, you have to win. You don't want to hear we're giving great effort. That comes with the contract, great effort. You got to play hard. You got to get great effort. I don't care who you're with, what you're with, when you're with, and who you're playing.
Bradshaw runs for 4. The quarter comes to a close. The Giants on their way to 8-6 and a game out with 2 to go in the chase for the last couple of spots in the NFC playoffs. Fourth quarter begins with 2nd and 6. And a run by Jacobs, tackled by Brian Orakpo, the rookie.
I really like this offensive line coach of the Giants, is Pat Flaherty. These New York Giant linemen, they're tough when they lose. They're tough when they win. They're tough all the time. And that guy has a lot to do with it. And I like the setup here. Head coach Tom Coughlin's daughter's married to the ringleader, the right guard, Chris Snee. And if anybody gets mad or doesn't like practice or you don't like the way it's going, Chris Snee is a guy you got to deal with. But these linemen are tough. and they've been together a long time, and I really like the job right tackle Will Beatty's done tonight.
Yeah, you like that setup, huh?
3rd and 5. Eli knew that sack was coming there. After all that time spent talking about the offensive line, now Jacobs in a pushing match with D'Angelo Hall and throws a punch. And Hainsworth and Jacobs grabbing, and they're throwing punches back and forth. And there'll be ejections here. Jacobs, who has used boxing in his training in the past. And those guys set up like they were ready to go 15 rounds. And, you know, Tom Coughlin's not going to be thrilled when these guys come to the sideline. Tom's going to be the first one out there to get one of his leaders in Jacobs.
You know, when a fight breaks out, I wouldn't look to pick a fight with Albert Hainsworth. I'd look for like a small guy.
I'm not choosing Jacobs either, you know?
Yeah, you're right. 265 pounds.
He and D'Angelo Hall got started on it.
Beatty gets involved.
At this point, watch these guys square off. It takes the look of a hockey game here for a second as they take the fighting pose to go after each other, which is...
There's Albert, number 92. Ooh, good right hand. Good left hand. He's taking on anybody.
As the Giants had this in the 4th quarter of the game last
After the
week.
play was over, personal foul, 92, defense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed for where the quarterback was sacked and in the grass. First down.
How does Brandon Jacobs not get a penalty? I understand somebody starts it.
Yep.
But how did people not get ejected and Jacobs, who threw a punch, not get at least a flag? Maybe they're saying we're going to take the person who instigated. Instigator is a hockey penalty. I know that, but
I don't have any idea, but
I don't
it's
know.
all sorted out. Both guys, 3-4 guys in that melee will be fined. But how it's just called on Albert Hainsworth, I don't know.
Wow.
Well, if I'm Jim Zorn, I'm throwing a fit out there right now.
He's trying to yell at Walt Coleman, who's pretending to be unable to hear Zorn. 27 threw a punch. You read his lips.
There's a toss.
This is all post-play stuff. We've all seen that before. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it. We said it live. We essentially broke into calling the fight.
No.
That's ridiculous. Bradshaw. Into the secondary, Ahmad Bradshaw. Pulled down to 25 by Reed Dowdy.
That's a great run by Ahmad Bradshaw. It's a well-blocked play, but you have to give another assist to quarterback Eli Manning. You hear him up here yelling opposite, opposite, opposite. He's going to run the ball opposite where all the guys are. And there is less defenders on the right side. The communication by Chris Snee, Will Beatty on that right side is excellent. That is a well-blocked play. I even saw Bear Pasco sneak in there at tight end.
First-year guy to Fresno State.
It's impressive.
Caught the first pass of the game.
Yeah, and Kevin Booth got up to the second level as well. Here, the Redskins check out.
And Manning throws to Manningham. Touchdown, Giants.
Well, London Fletcher checked out to recover two. He took the middle of the field. It was that buck two coverage. The middle linebacker goes deep in the middle. The safety on the outside is supposed to stay to the outside. Clearly, LaRon Landry came back to the inside. Left the receiver wide open for the Giants touchdown. You'll see it right here. London Fletcher, number 59, goes right down the middle of the field. But so does LaRon Landry go to the inside. That left Manningham wide open.
Third touchdown pass for Eli. It's 26 on the year. His career high set here tonight. But Manningham is 5th catch of the year for a touchdown. As the Senate was talking deep into the night in their debate, picture outside was beautiful. 45-12. An embarrassing evening for the Redskins as the Giants move to within a game for the NFC playoff chase in the wild card. Rock Cartwright Banged down to the 25-yard line. Most points the Giants have scored in the Giants Redskin rivalry since 1968. I guess the Fran Tarkington Giants scored 48 in a game at Yankee Stadium. Jason Campbell still in there banging away. Randall L. drops it. It's incomplete. Your whole body has to be over the line of scrimmage for it to be an illegal forward pass. He was just lingering across the 25, so that was a legal play.
Side by D'Angelo, and obviously number 30, LaRon Landry, got caught up in the disguise. That's just too easy.
Marcus Mason with the carry. He works forward for about 3.5 yards.
I never liked that when there was a touchdown pass, a big one like that, and I'd see my corners and safeties yelling at each other on the bench, you know. But the Redskins are trying desperately to disguise their defenses, disguise their coverages. Nothing's working tonight.
Well, we talk about communication all the time. London Fletcher, he went to that cover two. He saw something in the Giants, what they want to do. He went to cover two, but it wasn't communicated to everyone else on the defense. London got back deep middle. He was okay, but LaRon Landry never got his outside third in that two-deep coverage with that middle linebacker in the middle.
Campbell runs for a first down for the second time tonight. Goes down at the 48-yard line. You know, Jason Campbell, guys, we've talked about it often, and he was banged up here in the first half. Many different offensive systems through his whole time at Auburn, taken late first round, sits a year, gets a chance to play and start 50th start of his career, here tonight. And in the whole assessment process of what's next for Washington will be the question, is Campbell the quarterback you want to build around? He's a free agent after this year. First down throw to Randall L. is complete. Antoine's knocked out of bounds after a gain of 5.
For Jason Campbell, his skill set is good enough to win. He needs an offensive line. He needs a running back. The receivers are coming on. There's a lot to be done, but I think you can win with Jason Campbell.
It's on the run. The throw is completed to Fred Davis at the 25-yard line.
How do you become a consistent quarterback when there's no consistency around you? Last week we saw the same thing with Alex Smith, 5 coordinators in 5 years. These are first-round draft choices. I realize there's pressure to get results right away, but when you have 7, if you go back to this kid's college career, he's had 7 or 8 different coordinators in 9 years playing a position.
Your chances are very slim of being successful when you've had that kind of turmoil in your career.
From the 25, sack. Fred Robbins waiting for him as Dave Tollefson started the chase.
Well, the Giants right now, this is bonus. This is bonus money for them. It's all about sacks and pressures and getting the quarterback. You'll see right here, OCU Manure coming around the edge, right up the middle. But here comes the pressure on the outside. Fred Robbins on the play. Tollefson coming around the other side. Just people all over Jason Campbell. It's not 1. It's not 2. It's 3 white jerseys. It's a meet me at the quarterback evening for the New York Giants defense.
Campbell's throw is broken up, intended for Santana Moss. Terrell Thomas is there. You know, we talk about first round picks, first overall picks and their development. I wonder why more people don't step back and look at what's happened with Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers had obviously the Favre situation to deal with. But as he sat for those years, he really learned the offense. And when he finally got his first start to open our Monday night schedule last year, he came in much more ready-made than a lot of the young guys we see, and that's continued for 2 solid years now.
Yeah, and Mike, I agree with you. I'm kind of old school when it comes to that. And that's how quarterbacks used to be developed. Get behind a wily old veteran, learn the game, learn how to play the game, learn how to be a pro, and give yourself a better chance to be successful when you get an opportunity.
For Moss, incomplete. Boley shaken up a little bit on the play. The economics of football, and Boley more than a little shaken up there, as you see. The economics of football have changed that, where you feel like you've paid him so much money, got to get him on the field right away.
Well, when you're giving quarterbacks, you know, $50, $60 million guaranteed, the owner's sitting up there in the box saying, I don't want to see that guy stand on the sideline holding a clipboard. Get him out there. Let him earn his money. And that's the wrong position to take. There are very few Peyton Mannings of the world that can go out there. And Peyton Manning struggled year one. Well, you look at the quarterbacks a la Donovan McNabb in the same system with Andy Reid for 11 years. That gives you your best chance for success.
Remember Marty Morningwig installing and calling all the Eagle plays. Here's an interception into the hands of Chase Blackburn. Pulled down shy of midfield. Campbell's been intercepted a couple of times here in this half. That return was 24 yards. Chase Blackburn gets an interception. He gets his hands on the ball rarely, so take that football back and store it. David Carr is now in the game. Speaking of quarterbacks who are taken, #1 overall. A flag is down as Samad Bradshaw carried to the sideline and out of bounds. This will be only the second penalty on the Giants tonight.
I think they're going to get the right tackle, Will Beatty, on a hold there.
Giants doing this with 2 offensive linemen out of the lineup, 2 regulars, Kareem McKenzie and Rich Seubert hurt.
That illegal formation on the offense. Number 65 was the end man on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Chase Blackburn's made a lot of plays for the Giants. I love to see these special teams guys get out there and play on the defensive side of the ball. That guy's a tough-nosed football player.
His first career interception. And Carr throws to Manningham complete. Crosses midfield and keeps his play alive and comes to the near side and picks up a block from Carr. Quite a run by Manningham to the 41.
Well, Mario Manningham is not playing like they're ahead 45-12. He's trying to make plays, and what a heck of an effort by Manningham.
Well, Fred Smoot's got a chance to make this tackle. But Manningham is quick. Watch it right out in front of you. You'll see number 27, Fred Smoot, unblocked with a chance to make the tackle. There's Arakpo. He misses a tackle. Mario Manningham has speed and quickness. And there's another young receiver, Charles, that's really played well for New York.
Carr in the game, age 30, out of Fresno State's 8th year, was the Texans' first pick in 2002. Got to delay a game here. David Carr
game. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
became the poster child for the quarterback who got sacked. Remember that stretch 02 through 06? He was just battered and beaten up as the quarterback. Went to Carolina to play the 2007 season and has been Eli's backup here for the last 2 years now.
His body has a chance to heal a little bit.
I remember sitting with him at the Giants training camp in Albany in 2008, and he said he admitted gun shy after all the hits he took in Houston.
That's why I admire what Jason Campbell's been doing here in Washington. This guy's getting almost week in and week out.
Pass behind Hickson, incomplete. Throwing here up 33 with 7:16 to go. Eli's night pretty darn strong.
Now, you guys asked me when I was ever going to come back and coach.
Yeah, when are you coming back?
I'm going to come back when Eli or Peyton Manning have twin sons and they get to be about 19 years old. And I'm going to coach for 30 years. I want to coach a Manning before I cash it in.
Why twins?
Those guys are.
You want a starter and a backup?
Guys are just better than everybody else. They just know how to play the position. But you know this as an Iron Man yourself, Ron. The greatest attribute those guys have, those Manning brothers, is they never miss a game.
That's right. You got to line up and play. Availability. Important part of the position. Be there for your team every single week.
Carr throws to Smith. I'm assuming they're throwing with Carr just to get him some live reps of throwing.
Those two guys are Peyton and Eli Manning. I stand next to them. They could eat their lunch off the top of my head.
Yeah, but a lot of people.
I mean, they are big guys. Big.
Eli's 6'4", 225.
I think he's grown, Mike.
Has he? Is that right?
I mean, you and I, he looks tall next to us. I know that.
Oh, God. Return by Moss out to the 18-yard line as we hit a timeout. Vikings coming off their loss at Carolina last night. Ganther runs out of bounds after that catch. with Brett about should he stay in the game at a point when the Vikings were leading 7-6. But he just wanted to preserve Brett going forward, that he did not get beat up. Malcolm Kelly the catch. And there have been multiple times where Childress has gone down that road with Favre this year, said, hey, I won't get you out. You're getting beaten up here a little bit.
Well, that's that coach speaking. I want John to talk about that stream of consciousness so I could understand it a little bit better.
I don't know what that means. But Brett Favre is 40 years old. And he was getting beat up last night in a football game. And I don't know exactly what was said, but I'm not going to engage in all this radio talk shows that are going on right now. You don't know really what was said.
Hey, I want to know is what's happened with Adrian Peterson? The cashiers, my goodness, he's not been the focal point.
Ganther with a pass catch there for the first down. You know, the Favre point is interesting because here's a team that looked so good and looked very sharp, and against Arizona and Carolina, 2 out of the last 3 weeks on national TV, they haven't looked good, and all of a sudden you have questions about Minnesota. And if there's one more week to it, you're going to say Favre declined at the end of last year. We know there was a significant injury going on. Is that part of the reason for the struggle with that team? I think it's not there yet, but the conversation will be had if they don't light up the Bears on Monday night. Cartwright to carry.
The Minnesota Vikings, when you lose Percy Harvin, you lose a big part of your offense. When you lose E.J. Henderson, your middle linebacker, your defense isn't the same. They couldn't stop Jonathan Stewart last night. And a little bit like the Giants, when you lose Antonio Pierce, things are different. The Steelers are different without Troy Polamalu back there at safety. The Bears haven't been the same without Urlacher.
Sure.
Injuries impacted Minnesota last night. I think this Favre thing will work out okay. I think Brad and Childress and Brett are grown men. They'll handle what happened last night.
Another sack. Number 5 for the Giants. It's Barry Cofield, who throws Campbell down like a rag doll. And Cofield and Robbins breaking into the sack column here in this second half.
You know, there's an ebb and flow to every season. When you look at the Vikings, they were on a roll. Everything was going great. Couple injuries. They're struggling right now. The good teams fight through that adversity, get playing their best football down the stretch. I still believe the Minnesota Vikings are a very talented football team. You know, but they've got to get together next couple weeks. We get to see them on next Monday night. I'm excited to see their mindset right now.
Campbell's pass is behind Antoine Randall and incomplete. .328 to go. You know, you think about the Giants and their run to the Super Bowl. Remember, the Giants were kind of battling around to get things figured out, and then they played a Week 16, a 15th game of the year at Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable
Wind was blowing 50 miles an hour.
And the Giants played a really good second half to win that game 38-21. And that got them to 9 wins and got them to the playoffs. And then they play the game against New England where they choose to play everybody, lose by 3. The template is set for how to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And they run through the playoffs and get to Glendale and beat the Patriots in that memorable game. On downs, the Giants will take over.
It's absolutely crazy. I have never seen that many teams in contention for the wild card spot this late in the season.
San Diego's 4th-round draft pick this year was waived. Gartrell Johnson carries for the Giants, carries for the 12th time on his season. Well, if the night wasn't embarrassing enough for the Redskins, you get Giants fans all collected behind the Giants bench. The predominant group of fans still in the stadium, chanting for the Giants and urging them on. Most points the Giants have scored on the road in 55 years. Redskins game at Old Griffith Stadium.
I remember it well.
You do. You know, the nice part is John and I go back on the bus and we just kind of hang out, relax, and Jaws is breaking down game film from the mid-'60s. It's a sad life the man lives.
Yeah, I'm working on my book.
Post-game, Matt Millen, Steve Young hanging out. That's a scene you want to see during the 5th quarter, not during the 4th quarter. Many headed for the exits early here tonight. Their guys didn't give much cheer for. Carr's pass is complete to Hickson for a Giant first down. Now they can take a few knees and get on out of here.
You know, when I look at Brian Orakpo, a young player, a rookie, guy has 11 sacks for the Washington Redskins. I'm really impressed with him and listening to his answers to the questions that we asked. The one that really stuck with me, Jaws, he says, you know, I didn't know what to expect when I got into the NFL, but I didn't expect this. And this has been a very eye-opening experience for him. He's had to lean on some of these veteran players, but who knows which way the Redskins are going to go in the future.
Well, Orakpo is going to be the cornerstone of this franchise. He's a terrific young player. Again, he can play strong side linebacker. He puts his hand on the ground, a very versatile guy. He'll be a guy that you'll be hearing about for a long time.
Okay, guys, so here's how the wild card will stand after tonight, updated. As we take a second to thank our entire crew who worked very hard because of the snow and snow removal. The what was it, 25 million pounds of snow that had to be removed from this large stadium. Our guys and gals could not get all the work done to set up our equipment and had a very, very, very long day. So in addition to working here tonight in the cold, and that's true every week of the season. We love our group. They are one of the best groups you can ever work with, and we thank everyone and say Merry Christmas to all of you and your families.
We applaud them.
45-12, the Giants beat the Washington Redskins. The Giants are 8-6. The Redskins are 4-10. Merry Christmas, men.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.